Okay, take 3 on this video. Welcome along to your video on cold sores. And right from the very beginning, I want you to understand that I'm going to share information with you. I'm going to share experiences with you. Some are personal, some are observational. But the biggest thing to remember is that everything that I talk about, you are going to need to go away and see how that fits for you, because you are your own best experiment, all right? What works for me may not work for you. And the other thing that I want you to understand is that you need to give your body time to heal, especially with something like cold sores or HSV, the herpes simplex virus. There's a 1 and a 2. I'll read that stuff out in a minute. And I'm making this very basic. So if you do already know a lot of this, it's a repeat. Maybe it'll just be presented in a different way. But just, let it sink in and use what you need. But remember that you are your own best experiment. So you have to become aware of your body, what you're putting into it, how your body functions, what you respond best to. When I talked about cold sores, and for me, I don't get cold sores, but I get mouth ulcers. Same thing. It's the herpes simplex virus. It's just presenting in a different way. The thing to remember is that they're nearly all triggered in an adult by stress or some sort of imbalance within the system. So there could be a hormone imbalance involved, other things as well. But there will be a trigger, a precursor. And as we get older and we live with this side of things, we get to know what is a trigger for us, all right? And there's early warning signs that your body will give you that something's coming along. For me, I can actually feel the sensations in my spine. So I had to go through and read a whole heap of stuff this morning just to make sure that I put this together so that you could understand it, because it's more than just what you see on the front of your face, right? So some of you will know this. If you've had cold sores for a long time, you know you get a tingle or a burn or something like that on the outside, and you probably know what causes it. The thing is too that the herpes simplex virus, it's a virus, and viruses, I'll read that out to you too in a minute, but viruses need a host to live, right? That they do come as their own little unit, if you like, their own little package, surprise package that you get. And the way that you pick it up, it can be respiratory, so it can be something that's floating around, or you can pick it up by actually touching saliva, kissing someone that's got cold sores, all that sort of stuff. And by the way, when you do actually have your cold sore as such, that's when the virus is shedding. Now, there's been a lot of that word used in the last couple of years, so just put 2 and 2 together with this, right? But just know that there's different ways to work with different bodies, and yours is unique. However, we are all similar in some way. So let's see how we go with this, all right? So first of all, what is a cold sore? A cold sore is a sore that you're seeing, a lesion, an expression on your face. Your face, your mouth. Okay, for me, like I said, I get ulcers, so they're on the inside of my mouth, but this is something on the outside of your mouth. Shingles is also a herpes virus, but it's not the same one, okay? There's different strains. And viruses, that's what I was going to say to you too, viruses come as their own little package, right? You get this little gift, and within it is its own little DNA stuff, and, let's drop that word too, its own little coating, its own little package of coating and fuel, if you like, which is proteins, but fuel. And once it gets into the host cells, into the host, it's then able to break open and program those things around it to do what it wants, basically. And it results in cell death of some cells, which are probably healthy cells, and then the mutation and adaptation of other cells. And the journey goes on. A virus is very interesting to watch unpack itself and do what it does, right? And this is all based on human research up to this point. On that point too, before I talk about what is a cold sore and what is herpes simplex virus or HSV, and it's not Holden Special Vehicle. The thing is, trying to think of how to say this. Maybe I won't say it. Just anyway, just hold that thought. All right, so herpes simplex virus, HSV, not Holden Special Vehicle, are infections of the skin and mucous membrane, just peel my little sticky note off. All right, so there's two types of HSV in humans, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is usually associated with the mouth infections, all right? They call it oropharynx, your mouth. Can also go down your throat and stuff too, but anyway, let's not go there. It's spread by respiratory droplets or by direct contact with infected saliva. That is what they know right now, right? So if someone tells you something that doesn't feel right for you, look further. For me, when someone tells me that you can't fix something like this, I think, no, hang on a minute, there must be a way to fix it. The reason I have that train of thought is because everything comes from somewhere. So our cells require things to develop and produce, right? You just don't pop a cell out they don't just miraculously appear. They come from some matter or material and put together in the right way with the right environment and blah, blah, blah. So that tells me there must be a way to fix things, right? We just haven't found it yet. Maybe we're not interested in it. Anyway, HSV-1 may also be transmitted to other parts of the body through occupational hazards. So this is something to be mindful of as well, such as skin contact athletics. So if you're doing jiu-jitsu or whatever, like that's what I think of when I think of skin contact athletics. But anywhere where you're up close and personal, you've got that chance of spitting on somebody else where you've actually got a cold sore, which is the HSV. Or like me with the mouth ulcers even. I'm very wary of that, that sort of stuff. You might be going to pass it through. The other way that you may be exposed to it is through dentistry. So sometimes just have a think about that. And in the medicine field, obviously. Genital herpes, which is HSV as well, is usually caused by HSV-2. So that's the other strain. However, there is becoming a bit of a crossover between the two of them where they medical institutions, research scientific laboratories, pathology labs normally, are seeing the cross between HSV-2 now being the thing on your mouth. I'll let you run with that yourself. Infection with HSV-1 may present as primary or recurrent infection. Now, the point to understand with that, and we'll jump across to some other things because some people probably use Virax and over-the-counter things like that, or things that you get a prescription for. The thing to note with that is that it often starts when you're really young. You might get exposed to this sort of virus quite young, and there might be an outbreak when you're little. As far as I can remember, as long back as I can remember personally, I've always had mouth ulcers. And when I was younger, I was probably highly stressed, I'd say. But when I was younger, well, it would have been. But when I was younger, I would get them a lot. And sometimes it would just be brushing my teeth, bang, hit my mouth, and within a day or two, mouth ulcer. For some people, cold sores present the same way. But the thing is that the stress is the trigger. So as a young person, when you first get exposed to the virus, it's like an outbreak. Think of chickenpox and stuff like that. Like when someone first gets that virus, bang, it's there and it's quite prevalent. But what happens with HSV is that it then it lays dormant in your cells, and the cells in particular are they're in your nerves. It's in the central nervous system. So it's in your spine and it gets housed in your spine. So this is what I would mean when I say become aware of your body, because you'll get early warning signs. So for me, if I am going to have a bit of an issue in terms of really strong mouth ulcers, and say I don't pick up on being stressed, because sometimes my body can be stressed and run down, and I don't observe that because I'm happy. Everything feels fantastic. I think life's great. Bang, issues. But if I am really aware, I will feel a tingling sensation, and I feel it in my lower spine. And the place where HSV disappears to, the virus side of things. So say you got these outbreaks when you were 5 or 6, and then all of a sudden in your 20s, you're getting cold sores again, and you don't correlate the two. Unless you go to a doctor who does talk to you about that, but maybe you don't correlate the two and you think, why have I suddenly got cold sores again? Because you're experiencing high volumes of stress. It's because that virus is laid dormant in your system. What you want to do is think about this, right? So jump around a bit again. So if I talk to you about where it goes to, just visualize this in your mind. So imagine your spine, right? Where these guys go to and where they hang out is called your dorsal root ganglia. It's just a fancy word for like nerve endings in your spinal column, basically. But dorsal root ganglia at the sides of each spinal cord segment, all right? So your spine, think about a dolphin. It has that dorsal fin. Your spine has got points off the back of it, all right, and things insert on the side of those points. If I had a visual representation of a spinal column, I'd show you. Maybe I'll collect some somewhere, but not human, obviously, unless I get a model. But yeah, it hangs out in there and it lays dormant in that section. So that tells me that the virus is attaching itself to nerve cells, to cells that hang out in the central nervous system, in the CNS. So if there was a way that we could look into helping clean the cells in that part of our body, wouldn't that work better than just trying to put Sevirax on the blister when it breaks? Anyway, that's where my thought process goes with that sort of stuff. We want to clean up the inside of the system, and we want to create an environment within the system so that the system can rest and reboot itself. And you want to encourage stronger cells to develop and grow, while at the same time working out a way to release that virus from your system so that it doesn't hang around. Being very mindful with my words there. So do I want to talk to you about that? The development and organisation of the nervous system? Probably not. Maybe that's a bit too much for that video. Anyway, so it hangs out in your spinal column is what I'm getting at anyway. It's part of your central nervous system. So look at things that impact your central nervous system and you'll find answers in terms of calming down your stress as well. Meditation, good thing. Meditation, calm. Think about the lay down at the end of yoga. What's it called? Savasana. When you lay down and chill out for 5 to 10 minutes after you've done that stressful activity. Maybe that's worth a try, right? So while you're physically active and strong and you're coping with life's stress, maybe when you have a stressful incident happen and you've got a little window, lay yourself down for 5 minutes and just breathe, deep breathing. That's a good way actually to look at that. Maybe I need to try it because we've all got little captions of moment in our day, right? So we're going to experience this deep stress, like the deer getting chased by the lion. Deep stress in that moment, intense stress. But then when the stress is gone, you've got an opportunity to release the stress from your system. So the deer will shake it off and then go about eating the grass. So maybe when your stress is finished for the day, each and every day, shake it off yourself and then lay down just for a couple of minutes and then get back up and you'll be happy. Yeah, smell some essential oils, you'll be right. I want to jump back to the HSV for a minute. It may be that reactivation of a herpes infection occurs both in the dorsal root ganglion and locally, where it has been found to exist in the epidermis and other organs. So this is after an initial issue. The symptoms of a primary HSV-1 infection most often occur in young children between the ages of 1 to 5 years. It's likely that many adults were exposed to HSV-1 during childhood and therefore have antibodies to the virus. The recurrent lesions of HSV-1 usually begin with a burning or tingling sensation, umbilicated vesicles. Oh, I won't worry about using the big words. Okay, so then what happens is the burning and the tingling sensation are those little cells and fibers in your skin tissue telling you something's happening. And then that progresses into the ulcer, the pustules, and the other issues before the healing actually occurs. Lesions are most common on the lips, face, mouth, nasal septum, so that's in the middle, and the nose. When a lesion is active, HSV-1 is shed and there is risk of transmitting the virus to others. So please just be mindful of that and be tidy, clean. Pain is common. Healing takes place normally within 10 to 14 days. Precipitating factors may be stress, periods, or injury. In particular, so injury for me was that brushing my teeth and really brushing them hard and hitting the gum, or biting my mouth would often result in a mouth ulcer too. UVB exposure seems to be a frequent trigger for recurrences, so just bear that in mind too. There's some people out there that are promoting some things that may actually increase the triggering of certain cells within your body. Point in note. So this book then talks about application of over-the-counter topical preparations like antihistamines. Think about that Zovirax stuff, the anesthetic type of things, aspirin, things that help relieve pain. There's also some other antiviral drugs. Wow, what are we linking into with this, right? But there's antiviral drugs that will also assist with that. All of these things are masking stuff, okay? They're not actually helping your body to release the cells that you want to get rid of, the shedding side of things, because it's happening somewhere else. So while you're seeing it on your skin, the skin is the last line of defense, and it's also the last place where things come out of our body. So I'm working with a lot of older people at the moment, and what they are all asking me is, I don't know where this sore's come from. Suddenly I've got a growth that's got to be cut out, and not a cancerous growth, just some random growth that the doctor can't explain. And I've got all of these liver spots, or skin issues, skin spots coming up on my legs where maybe they used to wear shorts when they were younger and carted around a whole heap of glyphosate or some other fertilizer and shit, and it was all over their legs, right? Connect the dots. You will have things appear on your skin many years later after the incident occurred. So isn't it better for us to just continuously work on cleansing our body and helping our organs to detox and cleanse the system, remembering that our cells are replaced all the time? There's nothing in your body that is exactly the same as when you were really little, because all the cells are changing all the time. All the cells that make up everything are changing all the time. There's a big link between the brain and the body, and why we might have a scar for the rest of our life, right? My brain goes, well, why can't my scar disappear or go altogether and the scar tissue go if I look after it and help the skin, help the cells to break apart and go, die, dissipate? Anyway, I was reading that to you out of my pathophysiology textbook. 18 minutes already. Wow. Okay. So I talked to you about where it gets housed. Think about that. It's in your spine. We want to be a dolphin and get rid of some things. There's one other textbook that I just want to read something to you from. So again, with the cold sore, a cold sore is a lesion, usually in the oral mucous membrane, caused by type 1 HSV, transmitted by oral or respiratory routes. So they're the ways that they come in. The virus remains dormant until triggered by factors such as ultraviolet light, that's that UVB, hormonal changes, and emotional stress. Also caused a fever blister. What else got it tagged in here? The dorsal root. Dorsal root is posterior, so posterior means on the back. That's what I was describing to you before about the shape of your spinal column, and you've got that pointy bit at the back like the dolphin, with the dorsal fin. The dorsal root ganglion is the bit that goes in at the back there, right? So why am I telling you that stuff? Because I'm going to talk to you about some essential oils in a minute that you can probably, you can topically apply it. 2, you can use them aromatically. Some people may be able to find a supplement, hint, that you can ingest, but you can also use them topically. And where would I be massaging them on that secondary topical side? on my spine. Right. So that's the anatomy and physiology side of things done. Now let's get to some other ways to help with this, right? So relaxation, biggest thing. Stress response. You're having a massive stress issue. Yep, we're humans. We have stress all the time. However, we need to learn from our animal cousins. Shake it off, have a rest. Get back up again the next day. Maybe you're going to be in exactly the same stressful situation. But give yourself that break period where you allow your body to shake it off and rest, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and then just get back into it again. And from experience, you can do that in any environment, okay? I got put into an environment a couple of years ago where I'd never been before in my life. I never want to go back to that space again. However, what I learned in that was that how great my coping mechanisms were and how well I had developed the skills to be able to calm my system, calm the system. Breathing, meditation, mind, conscious mind, be aware of your own body, calm the system. So oils to help you with that, essential oils that you could mix together in terms of calming your system. Doterra do a blend called Peace. In it is vetiver. Vetiver is fantastic. It's called the horse tranquilizer of the aromatherapy world. Inhale that regularly. When you are going through experiences where you are going, you know you're going to be exposed to high stress, use your tools. Essential oils like vetiver can help. Lavender peace, anything that helps you to cope with stress and can be sniffed really fast. So in an inhaler or something like that, maybe it's wild orange and peppermint mixed together. Maybe it's wild orange and, I don't know, I'm looking at what's on my desk, but I want to say copaiba, but copaiba I want to say to you is really good to calm the pain down. Anyway, so just, you get what I mean, right? Mix up your favourites. Wild orange and peace is quite nice together. I don't like vetiver, probably because it calms me down. I don't want to keep going. All right, the immune system. The other thing to remember is it's a reflection of what's going on in your body. What else can stress out your body? Your immune response. Viruses will only attack an unhealthy system. So that means our immune system, we need to bring it up higher. One of the best things to help the immune system and to help with the healing of the skin is zinc. We know that we are all in a world at the moment where zinc is just not happening in our foods and in our soils. So we want to get into that. Spirulina is also really good in terms of removing toxic metals. Have a look into Medical Medium and the heavy metal detox smoothie. It's really good. The other thing with that HSV-1 is to have a look at his celery juice that he talks about. If you want to start your day a little bit different, start your day with some warm lemon water. So warm water, cup of warm water with either a quarter of a lemon squeezed into it, or use your lemon essential oil if you've got food grade ones. Heavy metal detox smoothie is good. You can also remember the good old aloe vera. Okay, aloe vera is fantastic in terms of supporting your body system with this particular virus. And you don't have to wait until you actually get an outbreak. Start working on the cells in your body now to release it. Curcumin, which is turmeric, introduce some really good Ayurvedic spices. So think about that. You've got turmeric, licorice root. You can turn these into a tea. Mullein leaf, which is interesting because that's a respiratory herb, so you could make a couple of really good teas out of that. Barley grass powder, lemon balm. Lemon balm is Melissa. I'm going to talk about Melissa in a minute. You could make a tea, a herbal tea, with lemon balm, yeah, why not? Lemon balm, turmeric, a little bit of licorice root, and some mullein leaf. It'll be pretty funky. Maybe you could do lemon balm, licorice root, mullein leaf, and nettle, and drink that tea every day. Or make yourself up a herbal concoction, your own herbal medicine. You can also mix this into raw honey. Now we're talking about immune system. On Guard in raw honey is really, really good for your immune system. If you're a young living person, it's called Thieves. Otherwise, just use clove, manuka. I put a post in the group, in the Essential Hive group, that talks about a cough syrup. That mixture is actually really good to boost your immune system as well. Get hold of some really good quality zinc supplements, or just get hold of Lifelong Vitality and start using it. Vitamin C, vitamin B12 as methocobalamin, okay? Start to learn what is in your supplements, because some of them are just a waste of money and not good for your cells. And zinc, yep, talked about that. Thyme is also really good. The thing with thyme is to remember that it gets whatever is angry out. So on an emotional level, thyme is really good for helping to bring the anger out and get rid of it. So Doterra also have a blend called Forgive. If your stress is exasperated by you getting angry, I would look into that too. All right, so the immune system consists of two smaller systems: the innate immune system, which prevents pathogens from entering the body, and then the adaptive immune system, which analyzes the pathogen so the body can respond with an army of protective cells created specifically to destroy that particular pathogen. This system also supports the immune system by delivering nutrients to the cells and removing toxin and waste products. I'm going to do a whole separate video on how we can create new cells in our body, okay? Because I think it's something that we need to look further into. Because all of the textbooks that I've got, all of the lectures that I've gone to, all of the information that I've had fed into my system is not answering the one question that I have, which is, what creates the cell? As in, what do we have that we can consume to create the cell, right? I know the answer is in your nutrition and things, and you are made up of what your food eats. But like I said, a whole other video, all right? If you want to explore that topic with me a little bit further, maybe we can get a little bit of a think tank going, whatever they call them, group think, get online, do some group discussions, really get to the bottom of this sort of stuff and start to experiment on ourselves. But yeah, there's so many ways that we could be looking after ourselves better. Now, the immune system responds extremely well to a technique that you can learn, and I'm going to start teaching this as well, but you can learn this online and then start to do some practical application. You can go to someone who is already qualified in the delivery of this particular technique, and it's called the Aroma Touch technique. It involves 8 essential oils. The 8 essential oils address both the responsive side, so that system that responds and analyzes and responds to the pathogen, as well as that side that builds the system so that it prevents the attack from the pathogen. That Aroma Touch technique works really well on both, okay? It also works in your lymphatic system. So your lymphatic system includes 2 biological substances, which is bone marrow and lymph. In the bone marrow is where our cells are created. So the bone marrow creates T cells and creates and grows B cells to maturation. B cells travel via the blood system to destroy any lurking pathogens. So we want to increase our B cells. T cells, which attack pathogens and any toxic molecules, travel to the thymus where they mature and later join the B cells. And then from a lymph point of view, that helps to carry the white blood cells, but it also helps to flush the shit out when you're done with it, right? The first line of defense is the innate immune system, which is the first 2 that I talked about, which includes physical barriers such as your skin, fingernails, so oregano, however you want to say it, on your toenails, because they've got funky fungus on them, or tea tree on those toenails, is actually really good for you, okay? Even if you don't have it, just put tea tree or oregano or thyme on your toenails and massage it in, and then wash your hands before you touch your face. Mucous membrane, tears and earwax that help prevent invaders from entering the body's ears. Massage your oils with a carrier oil, put it on your finger, don't just tip them in, put it on your finger and massage them around your ears, into your ears. You'll be surprised how calming this can be. Anyway, so back to Aroma Touch, right? When threats to the body form, various pathogens are combined. With a weakened immune system, illnesses can occur. Ideally, one would target pathogens within the body while simultaneously strengthening the immune system. The aroma touch technique accomplishes both objectives. It's a systematic application of 8 different oils that serve to strengthen the immune system, eliminate pathogens, reduce stress, and bring the body into homeostasis, which is balance, enabling the body to function more optimally. I am reading that to you from Essential Life textbook. Now I want to give you 2 more things, okay? The first thing is basil is one of your best friends. Now you can get basil essential oil, or you can just start eating copious amounts of basil. I don't mind. The other thing that is really good for you is helichrysum. Great for topical application, and melissa, which is lemon balm. So we talked about getting some lemon balm as in the herb and making a tea. Myrrh is fantastic. Myrrh is like, in my mind, myrrh is betadine. Okay, so if you're someone that's used to using betadine, which is the iodine stuff that you can get over the counter for sore throat, etc., start to learn how to use myrrh. My bottle's empty. And it will get crusty, so don't worry about that. It's meant to. Another oil that is fantastic is arbor vitae. Arbor vitae helps to get rid of parasites as well, as a side note. It's a tree. It's a big tree. On Guard, of course. So Doterra also have the On Guard toothpaste. Give that a crack. I use that. Herpes simplex, HSV is basil, bergamot, black pepper, clove. So to me, they're the Ayurvedic spices as well. So you want to start introducing things like cinnamon, turmeric, black pepper, clove, chai. Think about a nice real chai, not powdered chai, which On Guard gives you the same flavour. Melissa, myrrh, oregano. Okay, so recipes. Enhance immunity sugar scrub. I read this morning. I actually thought it sounds quite nice. The ingredients are 2 cups of brown or organic sugar, 1 cup of fractionated coconut oil. You could probably use normal coconut oil too. Just be aware that it's going to go hard. 15 drops of black spruce, 6 drops of tea tree, 5 drops of eucalyptus, and 5 drops of lemon. Mix and store in a glass container. Scrub your extremities gently and then rinse. For added benefits, soak in a bath after scrubbing. I think that's a fantastic recipe, and I think it would work really well, and I'm definitely going to put it together, especially when my next lot of black spruce arrives, because I use a lot of it. Number 2, cold sores. Going back to this, where am I? Cold sores. So, essential oils that are fantastic to have on hand: tea tree, melissa, arbor vitae, On Guard, bergamot. Bergamot is also a black tea. You could make yourself spicy chai tea on black tea. Bergamot. HSV, melissa, tea tree, peppermint, On Guard, basil. All right, all similar. Work with your stress. How would I work with my stress? I use essential oils that I like the smell of. I shake it off. So shake, literally shake, brush it off after I've been stressed. And I lay down or sit down, eyes closed, 5 minutes. Reset. I also use copaiba. I use copaiba on the sores for the pain. Now, I just wanted to show you quickly, before I jump off this, a little travel pack that I have, okay? So this comes with me on the motorbike. It comes with me on adventures. And I use this to support myself. I support my immune system with this. I have supplements that I use instead of herbals, because I can't always take leaves with me, and can't always brew up jars and jars of tonic to have, but I can carry this. Okay, so in here is a hand sanitizer. I use the On Guard one. I just buy it. I don't worry about making my own, but if you want to do it DIY. I have a lip balm, because my issues are on the inside of my mouth, and I have dry skin, I have Vata constitution. I want to keep my lips moist. I use the lip balm. This stuff is gold. Get a tube of it. It's like $17, I think. Correct-X. This ointment, okay, it doesn't have any nasties in it. This ointment has frankincense, helichrysum, cedarwood, tea tree, and lavender. All of those help to assist the skin to replicate itself. Try and find the right words. Helps the body do what it needs to do. Remember, the skin is the last line of defense. But hey, we got issues that are sticking out there. We want to get rid of them. Use this. You put Correct-X on just about everything, okay? It won't hurt you. It doesn't sting. Just put it on. In my little goodie bag, I also have lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a 5ml side because that's my antihistamine. I have the On Guard beadlets. Take a couple of those, especially when I'm traveling. I use the kids range. I use the Brave range. That's like On Guard equivalent, but diluted for kids. And I also use Thinker because it helps me in some way to be a little bit more focused, especially when I'm riding a motorbike, right? The other things that I actually have in here include these. So these are the Easy Air lozenges. They're like Vicks Vapor Drops. And these are the On Guard lozenges. You can get packets of these. And they are like maybe Strepsils, I guess. So if I get a sore throat or I'm around lots of people and it's lurgy season, which it is, I will suck on one of these. On the rare occasion that I do actually get a respiratory issue, I'll use these. And then the brown ones are ginger. Ginger is great for your stomach. We know that, right? So if you get a little bit of a tummy upset, use that. So that's what's in there. I've also got earplugs for when I hang out with noisy people. I will normally make myself a little travel blend, whatever that's going to be. And it'll either be in an empty roller bottle or it will be in that. And I carry a tiny little fractionated coconut oil. So that's my travel kit. Let's just make sure these are little towels. But yeah, everything fits quite neatly in there. And like I said, take it on adventures with me, okay? Which is really cool. And that just zips up like it's tiny, right? It's like my little medicine bag. I'd want to say first aid kit, but I need bandages too. Actually, a first aid kit for that. So the other thing I've mentioned, Lifelong Vitality, which is your supplement. These are available in Australia now too. They are the On Guard Plus chewable tablet. These guys include Melissa. So anyone that is having an issue with HSV-1 type thing or HSV-2 or any kind of virus, I would recommend getting hold of a packet of these, or a couple of packets of these, and chewing on 1 to 3 of these a day. And do that for, so 1 to 3 a day for say 5 days, and then have a rest and then start again. Because it will help keep your level up, right? They also include vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. So when Doterra put these together, smart little cookies, I got these when the latest big global virus was floating around. And I couldn't believe what was in these. It was like they did it on purpose. I'm sure they did. They put it together to help with it, right? But everything that's in these will help you in terms of a viral side of things. So if there was one thing, or sorry, I can't cut it down to one. If there were 5 things that I was going to do, 5 takeaways from this video to help me with cold sores or HSV. Learn how to release the charge of the body, which is to rest or reset. You can do meditation if you want to, but literally you just need 5 minutes after you've experienced the strong stress. I would then also begin to become aware of my body for my early warning signs. I would pick some essential oils that help me to lower my stress levels, to help me to feel good, and make myself a blend or an inhaler. I would use supplements that are going to support my body. So whether it's a herbal tea that I'm putting together, maybe it's just these chewables, maybe it's the chewables and the lozenges, or it's Lifelong Vitality. Definitely include these, but if you're someone that's get cold sore and HSV side of things. And then the 5th thing I would do would be look at ways to manage the pain, because you're gonna, if you have an outbreak, you experience pain. So for me, managing the pain is copaiba and clove and Vegemite. They're mouth ulcers, right? For you, it might still be the over-the-counter stuff that you get, but begin to introduce some of your essential oils and they'll help you too. And I think that's it. Drink good water, relax, rest your body, learn more about relaxation, and I will, if you're keen, tell me and we'll get together and talk. Okay, let's brainstorm different ways to repair the cells in our body, to help our bodies to get rid of the cells that we don't want anymore and to bring in new ones. It's smart, right? It's doing it all the time. Nothing is finite. Everything is changing. Anyway, have a great day and I will see you again soon.